The world just witnessed something unprecedented. China's most advanced warship, the pride of their naval fleet, is facing catastrophic problems that Beijing desperately wanted to keep hidden. Before we dive deep into this naval disaster, hit that subscribe button and comment below which country you think has the strongest navy in 2025. Let's get into this explosive revelation. The waters of the South China Sea hold more secrets than anyone could imagine. Right now, beneath the surface of political rhetoric and military propaganda, a maritime crisis is unfolding that could reshape the entire balance of power in the Pacific region. China's third aircraft carrier, the Fujian, representing decades of technological ambition and billions in investment, is experiencing mechanical failures so severe that naval experts are calling it an engineering catastrophe. The Fujian was supposed to be China's answer to American naval dominance. Launched with massive fanfare in June 2022, this 80,000-ton behemoth was designed to project Chinese power across the Pacific. The vessel incorporates electromagnetic catapult systems, technology that even the United States only recently mastered with their Ford-class carriers. But something went terribly wrong during the sea trials that began in 2024. Reports from maritime intelligence sources indicate that the carrier's propulsion system has suffered repeated breakdowns. The electromagnetic catapult system, which was supposed to launch aircraft faster and more efficiently than traditional steam catapults, has been plagued with technical glitches. Multiple failures during testing have raised serious questions about the reliability of Chinese naval engineering and their ability to maintain such complex systems at sea. The problems go far deeper than simple mechanical failures. According to recent intelligence assessments, the Fujian has experienced structural issues with its hull integrity. Several incidents during sea trials revealed stress fractures in critical areas of the ship's infrastructure. These aren't minor cosmetic problems, but fundamental design flaws that could compromise the entire vessel's operational capability in combat situations. Naval architects who have studied satellite imagery of the carrier have pointed out concerning details. The ship sits lower in the water than it should, suggesting possible ballast issues or compartment flooding that Chinese engineers haven't been able to resolve. This isn't speculation anymore. Multiple independent sources have confirmed that the Fujian has returned to port for emergency repairs at least 3 times in the past 6 months, far more than would be expected for a vessel of this importance. The electromagnetic aircraft launch system represents the most visible failure. This technology requires incredibly precise engineering and materials science that China appears to have struggled to master. During one test launch, an aircraft reportedly suffered a malfunction mid-takeoff, nearly crashing into the carrier's superstructure. The incident was hushed up immediately, but information leaked through military channels that monitor Chinese naval communications. China invested over $15 billion in developing the Fujian. The carrier was meant to demonstrate that Chinese shipbuilding had reached parity with Western naval powers. Instead, it has become a symbol of overambition and the limits of rapid military modernization. The Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy has been forced to acknowledge privately that the vessel won't reach full operational capability until at least 2027, pushing back their timeline by nearly 3 years. The strategic implications of these failures cannot be overstated. China's entire naval expansion strategy relied on fielding multiple advanced carriers to challenge American dominance in the Pacific. The Fujian was supposed to be the prototype for a whole class of similar vessels. Now, Chinese military planners are facing the reality that their technological leap forward has stumbled badly, giving the United States and its allies valuable time to reinforce their own naval positions. Recent satellite images from commercial space companies show the Fujian docked at Jiangnan Shipyard in Shanghai, surrounded by construction equipment and repair vessels. The carrier has been in this position for over 2 months, far longer than any routine maintenance would require. Naval experts analyzing these images have identified extensive work being done on the ship's lower hull sections, suggesting the structural problems are even more severe than initially reported. The human cost of these failures is also significant. Chinese naval personnel who trained for years to operate the Fujian are now in limbo, uncertain when or if their ship will be truly combat ready. Morale among the carrier's crew has reportedly suffered as delay after delay pushes back their deployment dates. Some experienced officers have requested transfers to other vessels, viewing assignment to the Fujian as a career dead end. China's state media has gone silent on the carrier in recent months. Where once there were regular updates and triumphant announcements about the ship's capabilities, now there is only carefully managed silence. This information blackout is itself revealing, suggesting that Chinese authorities recognize they cannot spin the carrier's problems into a positive narrative. The contrast with the earlier propaganda blitz is stark and telling. International naval observers have noted that China's other carriers, the Liaoning and the Shandong, have increased their operational tempo to compensate for the Fujian's absence. But these older vessels, while functional, lack the advanced capabilities that the Fujian was supposed to bring to the fleet. They cannot fill the gap that the new carriers' failures have created in Chinese naval planning. The technological setbacks with the Fujian have broader implications for China's military modernization program. If their engineers cannot master carrier technology that the United States has been perfecting for decades, what does that say about other ambitious projects like hypersonic weapons, advanced submarines, and next-generation fighter aircraft? The carrier's problems have become a test case that military analysts worldwide are watching closely. Some defense experts suggest that China rushed the Fujian into production before the underlying technology was truly mature. The pressure to demonstrate military parity with the United States may have led to cutting corners in testing and development. Now those shortcuts are coming back to haunt Chinese naval planners in the form of a carrier that cannot reliably perform its basic functions. The electromagnetic catapult system alone represents a technological challenge that took American engineers over a decade to solve properly. China attempted to develop equivalent technology in roughly half that time, and the results speak for themselves. The physics and engineering involved in launching a 30-ton aircraft from zero to flying speed in under 2 seconds are extraordinarily complex, requiring materials and control systems that push the boundaries of current technology. Recent reports from naval intelligence sources indicate that Chinese engineers are now consulting with foreign experts, possibly from Russia or Ukraine, to help solve the Fujian's most pressing problems. This development, if confirmed, would be deeply embarrassing for Beijing, which has promoted its indigenous military technology development as proof of China's scientific advancement and industrial capability. The carrier's propulsion problems are particularly concerning. Modern carriers require massive amounts of reliable power to operate all their systems, from the catapults to the radar arrays to the aircraft elevators. If the Fujian cannot generate and distribute power reliably, it cannot function as an effective combat platform, regardless of what other capabilities it possesses. Power generation and distribution form the backbone of any modern warship. Maritime analysts have also raised questions about the Fujian's combat systems integration. A carrier is not just a floating runway, but a complex network of sensors, weapons, aircraft, and personnel that must work together seamlessly. Early reports suggest that Chinese engineers have struggled to integrate all these systems effectively, leading to communication breakdowns and operational inefficiencies that would be catastrophic in actual combat. The situation has forced Chinese military strategists to recalculate their entire naval expansion timeline. Plans for a 4th and 5th carrier are reportedly on hold until the problems with the Fujian can be resolved and the lessons learned can be applied to future designs. This delay could set China's naval ambitions back by 5 to 10 years, a significant setback in their competition with the United States for Pacific dominance. What makes this situation even more remarkable is how quickly information about the carrier's problems has leaked despite China's typically tight control over military secrets. The scale of the failures and the number of personnel involved has made containment impossible. Too many people know about the problems, and too many have an interest in ensuring the truth gets out, whether for professional reasons or simply because the failures are too significant to hide. The Fujian's troubles serve as a reminder that military power cannot be built overnight, regardless of how much money and political will a nation possesses. Real capability requires not just impressive hardware, but the accumulated expertise, institutional knowledge, and proven systems that come only through decades of experience and incremental improvement. China's attempt to skip steps in this process has resulted in a very expensive lesson about the limitations of rapid military modernization.